My beloved child, do not scroll past this. Do not close this screen. This message found you for a very specific reason in this exact moment. I have been watching you. I see you sitting there, feeling the crushing weight of everything you have to do. I see the quiet moments when no one else is around, and the heavy mask you wear for the world finally slips off. I see the anxiety gripping your chest tightly. I see the shallow breaths you take when you think about your bank account, the mortgage, the endless stack of bills, and the career you are trying so desperately to hold together. You live in a world that constantly demands more from you. A culture that worships busyness and tells you that your worth is completely tied to your productivity. They tell you to work late into the night, to hustle harder, to figure it all out by yourself. And because of that, you are carrying a burden that I never intended for you to carry. I am stepping into your space right now. I am speaking directly to your weary soul. I want you to take a deep breath, breathe in my presence, and breathe out the fear. Peace be with you. Listen to my voice very carefully. Tomorrow is not going to be like today. Tomorrow, I am not just going to help you manage your stress. I am going to completely replace your anxiety with my divine and perfect peace. A massive shift is coming in the next 24 hours. But you are so exhausted right now. Your mind is racing with worst-case scenarios. You stare at the ceiling at 3 in the morning, calculating numbers, replaying conversations, and dreading the sunrise. You are terrified of failing. You are terrified of letting people down. You feel entirely alone in a crowded room. I know exactly what is waiting for you tomorrow. I know the meetings you have to attend. I know the deadlines that are approaching. I know the difficult people who drain your energy. I know the financial pressures that make you feel like you are drowning. You have been carrying a heavy backpack filled with cold stones, walking through life, trying to force a smile, and telling everyone you are absolutely fine. But you are not fine. You are running on empty. You are physically and emotionally depleted. Stop trying to fix everything on your own. Stop trying to control outcomes that are completely out of your hands. I am the Lord your God. The economy does not dictate your destiny. The corporate ladder does not determine your height in my kingdom. The opinions of others do not define your identity. You are unconditionally loved by the Creator of the universe. Right now, in this very second, heaven is moving on your behalf. Angels are being dispatched to clear the path you will walk tomorrow. But there is a transaction we must make tonight, an exchange. I want to take your heavy yoke and give you my light one. I want to take your panic and give you my rest. I want to take your confusion and give you my clarity. You have been holding on to your worries, as if worrying will somehow protect you. It does not. Worry is a thief. It steals your joy, it ruins your health, and it blinds you to the miracles I am placing right in front of you. Before the sun comes up and before tomorrow begins, there is a specific burden you are holding on to that is actively blocking your breakthrough. You are clinging to an illusion of control. You need to release it tonight. If you do not let it go, you will not have the open and empty hands required to receive the profound peace I am trying to hand you. The enemy desperately wants you to stay trapped in this cycle of fear. He wants you to close this message and go back to your anxious thoughts. Do not let him win. Do not walk away yet. There is a deeply rooted mindset you must break tonight. You need to understand exactly why you feel so overwhelmed and how to stop it forever. Stay here with me. Let my truth wash over your tired mind, because what I am going to ask you to do next will change the entire trajectory of your week. I told you there is a specific burden you must release tonight. That burden is the exhausting illusion that everything is entirely up to you. You have been running on a treadmill of endless expectations. You live in a society that glorifies the grind and worships overwork. People around you say you have to wake up at 4 in the morning, crush your goals, secure your wealth, and build an empire all by yourself. They say if you are not exhausted, you are not working hard enough. But nobody talks about the quiet devastation happening in your soul when the front door is finally closed. Nobody sees the moments you sit in your car in the driveway, just staring into the dark, because you are too drained to go inside. You live in a crowded city surrounded by thousands of people, yet you feel entirely isolated. You scroll through endless feeds on your phone, comparing your messy reality to the perfectly filtered highlights of other people. You wonder why everyone else seems to be succeeding, while you are barely keeping your head above water. Let me tell you the truth. They are carrying their own hidden burdens, just like you. You are terrified of the next wave of corporate layoffs. You watch the news and feel a knot forming in your stomach as the economy shakes. You look at your family, you smile, and you pretend you have every single detail figured out. But inside, you are crumbling under the massive pressure of trying to be the perfect provider and the perfect rock for everyone else. You absorb the stress of your coworkers, the demands of your boss, and the expectations of your relatives. You are carrying the heavy weight of the entire world on your fragile human shoulders. Why are you trying to do my job? I am the creator of the heavens and the earth. I never asked you to be the savior of your own life. You were never designed to hold this much mental and emotional stress. Look at what it is doing to you. Your physical body is breaking down. Your chest feels tight all the time. Your head aches. Your sleep is completely fractured. This is the heavy backpack of control I am talking about. You keep stuffing every fear, every unpaid bill, every uncertain outcome, and every past mistake into that bag. You carry it with you everywhere you go, dragging it from your office desk to your dinner table and right into your bed at night. Listen to the truth I am speaking over you right now. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Notice that I did not say come to me when you have your life perfectly organized. I did not say come to me when your bank account is overflowing or when your career path is perfectly clear. I said come to me weary, come to me completely broken, come to me exhausted from trying so incredibly hard just to survive. You actually believe that if you just work a little harder, you can finally relax. You think that if you just overthink every possible scenario, you can protect yourself from pain. That is a dangerous lie. Human control is a fragile glass house. The slightest wind of reality can shatter it in an instant. When the market shifts unexpectedly, when the sudden medical report arrives, or when a relationship suddenly ends, your illusion of control vanishes. That is the exact moment you realize you need an anchor, deeply rooted in something much stronger than your own human effort. You need me. You need to understand that the delay you are experiencing right now is not a punishment. The door that recently closed in your face, the opportunity that slipped away, that was actually my hand of protection slamming the door shut before you walked into a total disaster. You are crying over a loss that was actually a divine rescue. You have to start trusting my vision for your life. I see the entire map of your journey, from the very beginning to the very end. You can only see the very next step in front of you. So right here in this quiet moment, I am asking you to do something courageous. Slip the heavy straps of that backpack off your tired shoulders. Let it drop completely to the floor. Step away from it. Leave the anxiety about the layoffs right there. Leave the fear of not being a good enough parent right there. Leave the financial panic and the mountain of debt right there. Leave the bitter regret of past mistakes right there. You absolutely cannot step into the miraculous peace I have prepared for your tomorrow if you are still dragging the dead weight of your yesterday. Breathe in deeply. Feel the lightness returning to your chest. You feel a bit of relief just thinking about letting it all go, but pay very close attention to what I am about to tell you next. There is a spiritual enemy who absolutely hates your new peace. He is waiting in the dark for the sun to rise. He is waiting for your morning alarm clock to ring. The very second you open your eyes tomorrow morning, he is going to whisper a terrifying lie into your mind. He will try to convince you to bend down and pick that heavy backpack right back up before your feet even touch the bedroom floor. You must know exactly how to fight back when the storm hits tomorrow. You must know the divine secret to standing firm when the winds begin to blow again. The divine secret to fighting back tomorrow morning is understanding what true peace actually looks like. You have been deeply lied to about peace. You have been conditioned by a restless society to believe that peace is simply the complete absence of problems. You think you will finally feel peaceful when the credit card debt is fully paid off, when the promotion is officially secured, or when your bank account reaches a certain magical number. But that is not true peace. That is just temporary relief based on your fragile circumstances. Circumstances change like the wind. If your peace is entirely tied to the American economy, your peace will constantly crash. If your peace is anchored to the approval of your boss or the opinions of your peers, your peace will vanish the exact moment you make a single mistake. I am offering you something entirely different tonight. I am offering you a peace that makes absolutely no logical sense to the modern world. Think about those heavy moments when you are sitting in your car in the parking lot at your workplace. The engine is turned off. You are gripping the steering wheel tightly. You are staring at the glass doors of the building, completely dreading the moment you have to walk inside. You are taking shallow breaths, desperately trying to find the energy to put on your professional smile one more time. You feel an overwhelming wave of isolation right there in the middle of a bustling corporate park. Or think about the evenings you spend scrolling through a digital network of millions of people online, yet you have never felt more profoundly alone. You are desperately searching for an anchor in a world that never stops spinning. Listen closely to this next truth, because it will change your perspective forever. Remember the story of the great storm. My disciples were terrified. The sky turned violently black. The wind was fiercely thrashing against their small wooden boat. The cold waves were crashing over the sides, filling the vessel with water. These were strong, experienced fishermen, yet they were absolutely certain they were going to drown. And where was I during this terrifying chaos? I was asleep in the back of the boat. I was not pacing back and forth in a panic. I was resting. They woke me up screaming, demanding to know if I even cared that they were about to die. I stood up, looked directly at the raging storm, and spoke out to the wind and the sea. Peace, be still. Instantly, the violent winds died down. The chaotic water became as smooth as glass. Notice a very important detail in that story. I did not stop the storm from forming in the first place. I allowed them to sail directly into the turbulent waters. Why would I do that? Because I needed them to learn a permanent lesson. True safety is not found in the complete absence of a storm. True safety is found in my physical presence right in the middle of the storm. You have been begging me to remove every single obstacle from your life. You have been pleading with me to silence the difficult people at work, to magically erase the financial deficit, and to make your path entirely smooth. But if I remove every single storm from your horizon, you will never learn how to walk on the water with me. You will never discover the incredible, resilient strength I have placed deep inside your spirit. The peace I am giving you tonight is not just a comforting feeling. It is a spiritual weapon. It is a heavy shield that actively guards your heart and your mind when everything around you is spinning out of control. When you walk into that office building tomorrow morning, the toxic environment might still be exactly the same. The corporate pressure might still be incredibly high. The deadlines might still be impossibly tight, but you will be completely different. You will walk through those doors with a calm, quiet confidence, because you finally know who is standing right beside you. You will no longer react to their panic. You will not absorb their nervous energy. You will carry a divine atmosphere of rest everywhere you go, and people will wonder how you can remain so incredibly calm under so much pressure. I see the tears you have cried in secret when you thought nobody was looking. I see the heavy, bone-deep exhaustion behind your eyes. Let me speak over the chaotic waves of your anxious mind right now. Peace, be still. Let the racing thoughts slow down. Let the physical tension finally leave your tired shoulders. You do not have to figure out the next 5 years of your life tonight. You do not even have to figure out the next 5 months. I only need you to trust me with this very moment. I am the Supreme Lord over your career path. I am the ultimate provider for your household. I am the gentle healer of your broken heart. The enemy desperately wants you to wake up tomorrow feeling completely defeated, before your feet even touch the bedroom floor. He wants you to believe that nothing will ever change, and that you are permanently stuck in this exhausting cycle of survival. But he is absolutely terrified of what happens when you finally realize your true authority. He knows that a believer who operates from a place of divine rest is entirely unstoppable. You might be wondering how you can possibly face what is coming tomorrow if the storm does not completely disappear tonight. You are still looking at your future through the lens of human limitation. The wind and the waves in your life might still be loud, but there is a shocking truth about tomorrow that you have not even considered. It is a divine secret about time, provision, and the exact way I have already prepared your path. What I have actually done in your future will completely change how you sleep tonight. The divine secret about tomorrow is that I am already there. I do not live inside your earthly timeline. I am not restricted by the 24-hour clock that constantly fuels your anxiety. While you are sitting in the dark tonight, terrified of what the morning might bring, I have already walked into your tomorrow. I have already stood in the room where your corporate review will take place. I have already seen the medical test results you are agonizing over. I have already provided for the heavy mortgage payment that is keeping you awake. You are looking at your future through a narrow keyhole of fear, but I am holding the master key to the entire building. You spend so much of your precious energy dreading events that have not even happened yet. You construct elaborate tragedies in your mind. You imagine the worst possible scenarios. You worry about the rising cost of groceries, the unexpected car repair, and the massive healthcare bills that seem completely impossible to pay. You look at your children and silently panic about their future in a world that feels increasingly hostile and unstable. You are carrying the weight of generational expectations, trying to achieve an American dream that feels more like a heavy steel chain around your neck. You are exhausted by the constant demand to perform, to produce, and to prove your worth to people who do not even truly know you. You suffer deeply in your imagination, long before reality even unfolds. Why do you do this to yourself? My word clearly tells you not to be anxious about anything. I did not say you should only be peaceful when your bank account is full. I did not say you should only rest when the economy is booming. I said do not be anxious about anything. Instead, in every single situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to me. When you do this, a supernatural peace will descend upon you. It is a peace that makes no sense to your coworkers. It is a peace that baffles your financial advisors. It is a peace that guards your heart and your mind like a heavily armed military fortress. Do you understand what that actually means? It means you do not have to carry the mental burden of your own survival anymore. Think about the heavy burdens of modern life that you carry every single day. The relentless pressure to succeed, the fear of falling behind your peers, the endless cycle of debt and consumption. You have been taught that if you do not fiercely protect your own interests, you will be crushed by the competitive system. But the economic system of this world does not rule over my kingdom. I am your supreme provider. I am the Alpha and the Omega. I stand at the beginning of your life, and I already stand at the finish line. The sudden emergencies that catch you completely off guard do not surprise me at all. I have already dispatched provision for the problem you have not even encountered yet. I have already positioned the right people in the right places to help you precisely when you need them. You are stressing over a script that I have already beautifully resolved in the final act. When you walk into that terrifying meeting tomorrow, I have already softened the hearts of the people sitting across the table. When you open your email or answer the phone expecting bad news, I have already prepared a shield of grace around your mind. I am actively working behind the scenes of your life in ways you cannot possibly comprehend right now. Even when circumstances look completely bleak to your natural eyes, I am weaving together a magnificent tapestry of redemption and blessing. But here is the critical problem you are facing tonight. Your mind is so heavily cluttered with the toxic noise of the world that you cannot hear my voice guiding you. You are so accustomed to expecting disaster that you walk right past the miracles I place in your path. If I were to open a massive door of opportunity for you tomorrow morning, your current level of anxiety would cause you to doubt it, overthink it, and ultimately walk away from it. You are chemically addicted to stress. Your body is so used to running on adrenaline and panic that true peace actually feels unnatural to you. You feel guilty when you are not worrying, as if worrying is somehow a productive form of work. I need to break that destructive habit right now. I need to completely rewire the way you process information. You cannot step into the glorious future I have ordained for you if your mind is still trapped in the cold prison of fear. The transformation of your tomorrow begins with the transformation of your thoughts tonight. Before you close your eyes and attempt to sleep, we have to do some deep spiritual surgery. We have to clear out the toxic waste of anxiety that has accumulated in your weary soul. I am going to give you a specific set of divine truths. I am going to ask you to repeat them, to internalize them, and to let them replace the heavy lies you have been carrying for so many years. This is how we prepare for the morning. This is how we secure the perimeter of your mind against the attacks of the enemy. Are you ready to let go of the panic and receive my truth? Because the words you are about to declare will shatter the chains of anxiety and unlock the profound rest you so desperately need to see the doors I have already opened for you. You have spent years letting the world program your thoughts. You wake up and immediately rehearse your failures. You look in the mirror and hear a cruel voice whispering that you are falling behind. You scroll through the digital lives of other people and feel a crushing wave of inadequacy. You tell yourself that you are not smart enough to keep your job. You convince yourself that one single mistake will cost you everything you have worked so hard to build. You live in a culture that constantly shouts at you to acquire more, achieve more, and become more. That toxic inner dialogue is the pattern of this broken world. The world tells you that your value is entirely tied to your bank account, your zip code, and your corporate title. But I commanded you not to conform to the pattern of this world. I told you to be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Tonight, we are pulling up those toxic roots. We are evicting the lies that have taken up permanent residence in your head. Your mind is a fierce spiritual battlefield. The enemy knows he cannot steal your soul, so he tries to sabotage your daily peace. He plants seeds of doubt while you are stuck in terrible morning traffic. He whispers panic into your ear while you are sitting in the break room trying to catch your breath. He makes you obsess over conversations that happened 10 years ago. He makes you dread situations that will never even happen. But you have the power to stop him right now. You are not a helpless victim to your own racing thoughts. I have given you a spirit of power, of love, and of a sound mind. It is time to actively use that power. I want you to mentally take every anxious thought captive right now. Do not let them run wild anymore. Hold them up to the piercing light of my truth. If a thought does not bring you peace, it did not come from me. Listen to my voice, and let these words echo in the deepest corners of your spirit. Let them wash over the financial panic. Let them quiet the intense career anxiety. Let them silence the fear of rejection and failure. Breathe in slowly. I am removing the heavy spirit of despair. I am wrapping you in a warm garment of praise. Receive these declarations. Make them your own. Let them become the new foundation of your daily life. I am completely known and unconditionally loved by the Creator of the universe. My future is not dictated by the fragile economy. My future is entirely secured by my Heavenly Father. I release my desperate, exhausting need to control everything around me. I trust that God is working all things together for my absolute good. I refuse to carry the heavy, imaginary burdens of tomorrow. The grace I have been given is entirely sufficient for today. I am not defined by my past mistakes or my current struggles. I am a new creation, washed clean and completely forgiven. I am deeply anchored in divine peace. When the violent winds of uncertainty blow, I will not be shaken. I have the infinite wisdom of heaven available to me every single day. I am walking into tomorrow with unshakable, quiet confidence. I do not have to prove my worth to anyone, because my worth is already permanently established in heaven. I command every single spirit of anxiety to leave my mind right now. I command the tight, painful tension in my body to completely dissolve. I am safe. I am protected. I am stepping into a beautiful season of profound clarity and divine favor. The doors that need to open will open effortlessly. The doors that need to close will close tightly for my ultimate protection. Do you feel the massive shift happening inside you right now? The heavy, blinding fog is finally starting to lift. Those cruel lies you believed for so many years are crumbling under the immense weight of my truth. You are breathing a little easier now. The crushing, restrictive weight on your chest is gone, because you finally stopped trying to carry the whole world. This is exactly what happens when you let my living word rewire your exhausted mind. You are actively reclaiming your joy. You are taking back your peace from the thief who tried to steal it from you. Tomorrow, when the pressure mounts at work, when the deadlines approach, these truths will rise up inside you like a powerful, unbreakable shield. You will not react with blind panic. You will respond with calm, divine authority. Your mind has been beautifully washed clean. Your spirit is standing tall again. The heavy mental baggage has been dropped completely at my feet. But there is one final crucial step before you surrender to sleep. Your mind is finally quiet, but your physical environment, your home, and your resting hours need to be tightly sealed. The enemy loves to attack when your guard is down in the middle of the quiet night. He loves to bring terrifying dreams and sudden jolts of panic at 2 a.m. I will not let that happen to you tonight. Before you close your weary eyes, we must build a massive, impenetrable spiritual wall around your bedroom. We need to release a specific, powerful covering over your physical body and your entire home so that absolutely nothing can disturb your deep rest. The walls of your bedroom are no longer just physical walls. I am establishing a divine perimeter around your home right now. For too many nights, you have allowed the chaos of the world to enter your most private, sacred space of rest. You bring your unresolved arguments to bed. You bring the heavy financial spreadsheets, the unpaid medical bills, and the crushing anxiety of your career right into your thoughts as you lie down. You keep that glowing screen right next to your pillow like it is a lifeline, but it is actually a heavy chain. The culture you live in tells you that you must always be available, always on call, and always producing. They expect you to answer emails at 11 at night. They want you to constantly monitor the relentless news cycle, absorbing the tragedy and panic of a society that is spinning completely out of control. But I am telling you to disconnect right now. Turn it off. Look at the heavy toll this constant connectivity has taken on your physical body. Your nervous system is perpetually in a state of high alert. You jolt awake at 2 in the morning with a racing heart, immediately reaching for your phone to check for messages that do not even matter in the light of eternity. You suffer from intense decision fatigue. You are exhausted by the endless pressure to maintain a perfect image, to secure your financial future, and to protect your family from every possible harm. Why are you sacrificing your God-given rest for a system that does not truly care about your soul? I did not create your precious mind to consume the problems of 8 billion people every single day. I created you to walk in the cool of the garden with me. I created you to experience the profound, healing rhythm of meaningful work and genuine rest. Tonight we are drawing a hard, unbreakable boundary. I am commanding the chaotic noise to completely stop at your front door. The toxic energy from your workplace is not allowed in this room. The bitter sting of rejection from people who do not understand your journey is not allowed in this bed. The overwhelming fear of an impending economic recession is barred from entering your thoughts. This is a sanctuary of profound peace. My presence is filling the empty space around you right now, actively pushing out the heavy, suffocating atmosphere of dread. Can you feel the sudden shift in the room? The air is becoming remarkably lighter. The heavy, restrictive pressure on your chest is finally dissolving. I see the silent tears you have wiped away in the dark. I know you worry relentlessly about your children. You worry about their safety in a dangerous world, their education, and their future. You worry about your aging parents and the heavy burden of providing for everyone who depends on you. But you must release them into my hands tonight. You cannot be their ultimate savior. I am their protector. I love them with an everlasting love, and my plans for them are deeply secured. When you stay awake worrying about them, you are carrying a burden that belongs exclusively to me. Listen to the ancient truth of my word. In peace I will lie down and sleep. For you alone, Lord, make me dwell in safety. Let that eternal promise sink deep into your tired bones. You do not have to fiercely protect yourself tonight. You do not have to figure out how to miraculously pay off the massive mortgage while you are trying to sleep. You do not have to solve the complex crisis in your extended family before the sun comes up. Let the entire universe rest securely in my capable hands. I am the one who never slumbers and never sleeps. I am taking the night shift for you. As your weary body sinks heavily into the mattress, I want you to visualize my massive protective wings wrapping tightly around you and your entire household. Every single door and window of your physical home is covered by the precious blood of the Lamb, the spiritual enemy who tries to torment you in the dark, who whispers terrible scenarios into your mind just as you drift off, has absolutely no authority here. He is permanently and completely locked out. I am assigning heavily armed angels to stand guard over your mind, ensuring that your dreams are sweet, peaceful, and profoundly restorative. You will not be terrified by the terror of the night. You are completely safe. The economy cannot reach you in this secret place. The critical opinions of your coworkers cannot touch you here. The mistakes you made yesterday have been entirely washed away by my grace, and they are not allowed to follow you into your dreams. Tomorrow will have its own challenges, but you will face them with a completely renewed spirit. You will face them with the incredible strength that only comes from resting securely in the presence of the Almighty. But there is one final, critical piece of this divine exchange that you must complete before you can drift off into a perfect sleep. Your mind is finally quiet, your room is heavily protected, and your future is secured. But your heart still needs a profound, sweeping wave of healing. You are still holding on to a hidden pain, a quiet resentment, and a deep emotional wound that you have carefully hidden from everyone else. You need a complete, restorative prayer to sever the final cord of anxiety and fully surrender your entire existence into my hands. Are you ready to pray with me? Let this be the quiet prayer of your deeply exhausted soul tonight. You do not have to speak the words out loud if you are too tired. Just let your spirit agree with my voice. Say to me right now, Lord, I am finally done fighting this battle on my own. I surrender my heavy heart to you. I release my desperate grip on tomorrow. I place my family, my career, my finances, and my hidden fears entirely into your capable hands. I trade my anxiety for your perfect peace. Notice how your physical body responds when you make that genuine declaration. The tight knot in your stomach is beginning to loosen. The heavy tension you have been holding in your neck and your shoulders all day is finally melting away. I am actively ministering to your nervous system right now. You live in a highly overstimulated environment. You are constantly bombarded by breaking news, economic panic, and the endless demands of a fiercely competitive society. Your mind has been trained to anticipate disaster at every turn, but right now, I am commanding your racing heart to slow down and find its natural rhythm again. I am flushing the toxic stress out of your physical body. I see the specific burdens you tried to hide even from me. I see the quiet panic about your retirement savings. I see the heavy guilt you carry when you feel like you are failing your children because you have to work so many hours just to keep the lights on. I see the medical report that has been casting a dark shadow over your joy. I see the deep loneliness you experience in your marriage, or the quiet grief of walking through an empty house. You have been carrying these massive stones completely alone for far too long. Drop them right here. Let my healing presence wash over those deep emotional wounds. I am not just putting a temporary bandage on your pain. I am pouring the warm oil of my divine love into the very root of your trauma. Let us talk about the workplace you have to return to tomorrow. You have felt invisible there. You have felt like your hard work is constantly overlooked, while the demands placed on you continue to multiply. You worry that one simple mistake will cost you your livelihood. Let me shatter that lie right now. Your employer is not your ultimate provider. I am. The corporate ladder is an illusion. My kingdom is the only reality that dictates your provision. If they decide to close a door on you, it is only because I am preparing a massive gate of opportunity somewhere else. You never have to compromise your peace for a paycheck ever again. And what about the deep, quiet fear you have for your family? You look at the rapidly changing culture in this nation. You see the confusion, the hostility, and the countless dangers lurking in the digital world. You feel completely inadequate to protect the innocent minds of your loved ones. Hear my voice clearly on this matter. I love your children infinitely more than you do. I have assigned mighty warring angels to stand guard around them. When you release your family into my hands, you are giving them the greatest protection available in the entire universe. Your job is simply to love them and point them to me. I will handle the heavy lifting of their salvation and their earthly protection. Listen to the eternal promise I am speaking over your life right now. Peace I leave with you. My peace I give to you. I do not give to you as the fractured world gives. Do not let your heart be troubled and do not be afraid. The peace of the world is incredibly fragile. It rises and falls with the stock market. It vanishes the moment you lose your job or face a sudden crisis. But my peace is a solid, unshakable mountain. It anchors your soul to heaven, making you completely immune to the chaotic storms of earthly life. When the world demands panic, you will respond with quiet authority. When the culture promotes fear, you will walk in bold confidence. You are crossing a very important spiritual threshold tonight. You are leaving the exhausting wilderness of anxiety and stepping into the promised land of my rest. Tomorrow morning will not be a repetition of your painful yesterday. When the sun comes up, you will open your eyes with a renewed sense of purpose. The overwhelming dread that usually greets you in the morning has been permanently evicted from your home. The meetings you have to attend, the conversations you have to navigate, and the decisions you have to make are already covered by my unmerited favor. I have already gone ahead of you to soften the hearts of your critics and to open doors that no human being could ever shut. If you truly receive this massive divine exchange tonight, I want you to make a simple act of faith before you drift into sleep. Type the word peace to declare that your anxiety has been completely replaced. Share this exact message with someone you know who is silently drowning in the heavy pressures of life. They need this rescue just as much as you do. Do not keep this healing water all to yourself. Now, close your weary eyes. Let go of the final threads of control. You are safe. You are intensely loved. You are entirely protected. The battle for your tomorrow has already been won on the cross. Sleep deeply, my beautiful child. I will be right here, watching over you through the night, and I will be the very first one to greet you with new mercies in the morning. The dark night is finally over. The heavy winter of your soul has passed. The brilliant light of my grace is breaking through your window. Rest in my eternal embrace. I am the Lord your God, and I will never let you fall. Peace be with you, now and forever.